One of the most common questions any freelance designer, agency, or even account manager in the digital space gets is how much does it cost? And it's a very fair question. Think of it from the standpoint of either you're starting up a business or you've been around for decades. You kind of need to start building a budget and figure out how much it costs. I'm going to say something right now that there's a lot of people who are going to think this is controversial. You shouldn't say, "Ooh, website design. I found someone that can do it for $500 or $5,000 or $50,000," and that's just in a sense a package. I'm not a fan of packages. Never have been. Never will be. In the sense of if your business is unique, or even if it's a part of a niche, it's still unique. Therefore, why would you say, "Oh, we're just going to hire this churn and burn. They're going to crank out a template and that's it, and we're going to just keep costs down"? I wouldn't do that with my business, and I don't think you should do that with yours unless it's not a priority. So you do need to, and I'm going to say that's also controversial. "Ooh, website should be priority." Not necessarily. In some industries, if it's just something where, hey, you just need to have it just for compliance or something like that, I think you can keep the budget lower. However, it should still be custom to your brand. You want to make sure that it represents your audience, both internal and external, and make sure that it accomplishes the goals you have set for it. Are you building a site for lead generation? Are you building a site for sales? Are you building a site to have people fill out forms and submit contracts or submit paperwork or what have you? So make sure it's accomplishing those goals, but on top of it, it should align with your brand overall. So that's where I always suggest it should be custom to you and to your needs as an organization, an individual, or brand. So don't just say, "Oh, there's someone in our niche. They crank out these websites and it's so inexpensive." Well, guess what? From an SEO standpoint, I'm not going to go down this path too much, but if it's a niche industry, let's say we're in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, and it's a company that does, I don't know, gas stations. That's weird, but let's just say they do gas stations. And they do hundreds of gas stations across town. Well, if they're literally templatizing and building out the same website for all these gas stations with the same copy, the same message, the same tone, the problem with that is Google looks at it and say, "Oh, all these sites are copying each other. So therefore, we're not going to list them as high. We're not going to rank them as high. And we're only going to look at their SEO, their local SEO." So that's a problem. So take it from that standpoint of make sure it's custom to your brand, what you want to do as an organization, and make sure it's custom to you. Don't just take something and say, "Oh, this is something that they've done thousands of, so they know their space." I always get cringy when I hear, "Oh, they do gas station websites." That's just a terrible example, but you get my point. It's one of those things. Why? In a sense, let's look at it from this standpoint. If they just do gas station websites, God, I got to get another example. But let's say just gas station websites. Well, who does that agency want to rank higher? The gas station A on this mile marker 1 or gas station B on mile marker 4? How do they create content to differentiate the two if they just churn and burn and knock out templates? So think of it from that standpoint. Put some love, effort, and budget behind what you're going to do. It should be custom based on the needs you have as an organization. Hope that helps. Again, it's a complicated question, but I like the complicated ones. So if you have more questions about this, feel free to reach out to us via energyhill.com. Thanks, guys.